Good morning and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Thursday, January 29th. Okay, let's get into the action. Take a look at the S&Ps, which are trading higher about 0.2%, 0.19% to be exact. Positive, it's really the latest round of corporate earnings is really the focus for the markets today. On the economic calendar, we do have the weekly jobless claims data that's due up before the opening. That could be interesting. In Washington, the risk of a government shutdown is easing. Apparently, Trump met with some Senate leaders, and so we don't think we're going to see a shutdown occur over the weekend. But President Trump is scheduled to make an announcement today at 4:30 p.m. There could be something there. In geopolitical news, Trump issued a warning to Iran over its nuclear program as naval buildup in the Middle East continues to grow. Now, this is a different narrative than what he's saying earlier with respect to protests going on in Iran that are against the government. Now it's more about it's going back to the old narrative of them not negotiating a nuclear treaty deal. So we'll get more clarity on that as the days move forward. But that news, it's really causing some strong gains in oil prices this morning. In corporate news, Nvidia, Microsoft, and Amazon, they're reportedly committing up to 60% of that funding round. Remember, OpenAI has a funding round of about $100 billion that they're looking to raise, and these three firms are contributing about 60% of that, sources say. IP, International Paper, they're said to be exploring a breakup. In terms of earnings, IBM, Meta, Royal Caribbean, Southwest Airlines, Lam Research, they're all trading higher after their earnings releases. Microsoft, ServiceNow, United Rentals, Honeywell, Lam Research, they're all weaker after their results. After the bell today, we got Apple, we got Visa, we got Clack, we got SanDisk, we got Western Digital, and Deckers Outdoors. They're all going to be reporting. Okay, taking a look overseas last night, we're going to start off with Germany and see, and we're going to start off with Germany and look at the DAX, which is lower. The DAX is lower by about 1%, down 0.24% or 0.98%. It's really weakness, it's really the weakness across, some tech stocks that released earnings, and that's really affecting their markets today. But the FTSE, on the other hand, the FTSE's up 0.75%. With strong gains in energy and mining stocks, you got silver and gold continuing to rally, and that's really benefiting the FTSE. In France, you see the French market's up 0.58%. Luxury stocks are steady, while tech stocks and healthcare shares are seeing some advances. That's positive. And then we turn our attention over to Asia last night, and we're looking at the Nikkei, which did eke out a gain. The Nikkei was higher by 0.03%. It was led by chip and memory, stocks, sentiment's cautious out of that February 8th snap election. So I got to tell you, I expect that to continue. Hong Kong, the Hang Seng rallied. Up 0.51%, led by property and financial sector stocks. In China, market closed higher by 0.16%, with gains in mining stocks leading, as metal prices just continue this strong momentum. Gold, silver, copper, and other base metals continue to push to fresh new highs. Due to geopolitical uncertainty and trade uncertainty, which is lifting the prices in these metals. Okay, now we're looking over at oil this morning, and oil is just, really rallying. We're seeing a big move higher. WTI is at $64.85. That's up 2.59%. We got Brent trading over $70. It's at $70.13, up 2.53%. I mean, President Trump said yesterday that U.S. naval forces in the region are prepared to act with speed and violence if necessary, if Iran continues its nuclear ambitions. So, this is kind of the first time we're hearing about their nuclear ambitions, but it is the base case is what's being used for what could be a possible military action into Iran. As such, you look at oil, the Strait of Hormuz, which is a key waterway for LNG and oil. Iran could close that. They have the ability to close that seaway. So that automatically lifts oil prices whenever the U.S. starts indications of a possible attack on Iran. But just remember, Iran's reaching out to all of its allies in the Middle East and others, Russia and China, to try and kind of help them navigate the difficulties that they're having with the U.S. right now. Stay tuned. We'll have more than that. This is an ongoing situation with no end in sight. In terms of earnings news, we got to start off with Microsoft, that ticker MSFT, which is down 6.78% this morning. They delivered a beat of 29 cents on higher revenue, but the street didn't like some of its cloud revenue because it appears to be slowing. Then you have Meta, META. That stock's up 8.79%. They beat by 66 cents. They did it on higher revenue and really did a good job, explaining how their CapEx spend is actually turning into revenue. So, that's the big thing with the CapEx spend. It's got to turn into revenue. And they did a good job kind of talking about increased engagement, positive. Tesla, on the other hand, TSLA, its stock's up 1.8%. They did beat by 5 cents. They did do it on higher revenue, but the auto sales are slowing. Tesla's auto sales are slowing, and that's where the majority of their revenue comes in. Everything else is just hope. But the believers in Tesla continue to be out there, and they're propping this stock and making it go higher. So you can't, on a valuation basis, it doesn't. There is no valuation here because this is just obscene. But Tesla is moving higher after their earnings announcement. After the bell today, you got Apple. They're going to be releasing their EPS is $2.65. Expected move is 3.94%. You got Visa, ticker V. EPS is $3.14. Expected move is 3.17%. And Chevron and Exxon are both reporting tomorrow. Chevron, their EPS is $2.53, and their expected move is 2.69%. It's a minor move, but Chevron and Exxon are seeing gains already this morning. Okay, let's talk about the economic reports this morning. The key one is the jobless claims. Expect to see an uptick in claims, 205K from last week's reading of 200K. Remember, the claims have been, pretty steady around this 200 mark for the last 3 weeks. Yesterday, we got that Fed meeting. They left interest rates unchanged. Jerome Powell noted that the central bank is well positioned to be in a watch and wait and see mode. I mean, come on, they did 3 cuts last year. Yeah, I guess they are in a good position. In terms of, the markets this morning, listen, it's seen some green activity in my Dow stocks. They got 20 higher and 10 lower. FANG stocks are mostly higher. That's kind of positive. You got Apple CEO calling for de-escalation amid Minneapolis shooting. Amazon, they're putting out there that they're going to close most Fresh and Go stores. They're going to shift their focus to delivery and Whole Foods. Yeah, it's hard to do a grocery store. It's really hard. Tesla weakening auto sales not hurting the stock this morning as the excessive valuation continues to build on promises of new advances in tech. Dow Jones stocks and Microsoft says memory prices to impact cloud spending. Yeah, look at memory uses silver. Silver prices continue to push higher. That's going to cause memory prices to increase. They also said, Microsoft also said that their net gains from their OpenAI investment totaled $7.6 billion. Wow, that's positive. In terms of merger news, IP, International Paper, they're going to spin off their EU packaging operations into a separate company. In terms of guidance, Meta sees Q1 revenue coming in 53.5 to 56.5 billion. Consensus was 51.4. Wow. LRCX Lam Research sees Q1 EPS coming in $1.25 to $1.45. Street estimates $1.20. Nice uptick. Southwestern Airlines LUV sees full year 2026 adjusted EPS of at least $4. Street estimates $3.22. Interesting. United Rentals URI, they announced a $5 billion share repurchasing plan. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about our stock of the day today. There's a lot of stocks out there that are releasing earnings, so it's kind of like hard just to pick one. But I'm going to go with Verizon, ticker VZ. I just think that Verizon could see a bump. You look at the stock, the EPS is $1.06, and the expected move is 4.09%. You look at the open interest, 28,000 versus 15,000 for the volume yesterday, and the open interest is 580K to 400K. That's all positive. Brokerage firms are always positive on Verizon. It does have a nice dividend. But for me, I want to get in 39.40. That's my area to get in. And I think if I can get in 39.40, it'll be a good trade. But that's my pick of the day, VZ, ticker Verizon. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the stocks that are moving in the last 15 minutes or so. See if we see any hot headlines. Fed independence concerns weigh on the dollar. There's a lot of issues weighing on the dollar. Trump's out there talking about how we should have the lowest interest rates than any other country in the world. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, it is really quiet out there today because everything is all about the earnings that have been happening. Five Below, FIVE, Goldman's out there saying movie licensing opportunities are underappreciated in the stock price. USAR, U.S. is said to be moving away from price floors on critical minerals. Kenvue is having a shareholders meeting today, 9 a.m. That's all I'm seeing this morning. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about our stock of the day for yesterday, which was Las Vegas Sands. That's, ticker LVS. Look at the numbers. I mean, the stock opened up at 61, which, happened to be the low for the day. I was, trying to get in 60 to 60.25, which is where it was trading in the pre-market, but it opened up at 61, and from there, it actually ran all the way up to 62.70, and, closed at like 61.50, but well above my entry price. But if you got it at the opening price, you did make your 1%. So, Las Vegas Sands, actually had not a horrible earnings report either, but the stock's trading lower this morning. But yesterday, LVS was a winner. It hit the 1% mark, so we got to be appreciative of that. Okay, traders, that concludes NewsWare's Trade Talk for today. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some more green.